Depending on what type of work I use, I flip back and forth between Silhouette and Cricut. Tutorial, I will be using the Silhouette Studio Business Edition. Preface this by saying that anytime you purchase fonts or artwork, make sure you purchase the commercial licensing for it as well. Also purchase the license to be able to use it commercially. It came with a few different color options, so I just choose the one that I like when creating whatever name I'm going to be creating. This clip, I'm using the name Aiden, and here I am dragging and dropping a few of the different letters into Silhouette Studio. I have a few different size clips for any name that's over 5 letters or 5 letters and above. I usually use the 2.3 inch clip, hair clip that I have. Once I get all the letters in, then I size accordingly. I'm going to speed this part up a little bit because you see what I'm doing here. If you like the font that I use, send me a message and I'll be sure to tell you where I got it from. I have not been compensated by the company in any way. That way, I'm not giving them free promotion. That's just the way it is around here. They had a few different styles of crayons, pencils. Those are just the 2 particular ones that I liked, so those are the ones that I purchased. Yes, I did purchase the commercial licenses separately for each set that I purchased. Okay, once I get the letters to the size of my liking, there's going to be 2 different portions of this because I'm going to be tracing the name Aiden using the trace panel in the app. But using the tracing is only the foundation for creating the offset that I'm going to be doing next. Raise the threshold that can capture the entire name, and all I'm going to do is hit trace. Move the name over to the side, and this is what I'm left with. But that's not it. We still have one more step of this portion, really. Once I trace the panel of the name, I usually realign it back to center middle, and then I intersect to make sure that there's no white outline in any portion of this, because then it gives you like this staticky looking outline. You don't need that when you're cutting something out. So then I take the name and I move over to the offset panel, and I'm just creating a slight offset, and you see the red portion of the name, the red outline, that's going to be the actual SVG file that I save when I upload it into Cricut. It's a small offset because you want the focus to be on the name and not the actual outline. So then I remove the inner portion and I'll just delete that. And what I typically do, you see there's a small line in between the A and the Y. I delete that because it just creates too many problems in the Glowforge. My particular opinion, when it's cutting things out, if the lines are too close, it kind of causes like a little bit of a spark inside the Glowforge, and we don't need our Glowforges setting on fire. It costs too much money. I'll just go ahead and delete that. Now this is the portion when you save the file. I just usually save everything all together because for some reason, because I'm using a Mac computer, Silhouette software like abruptly closes from time to time, and I don't have time for that. Mirroring the name Aiden, because once I print out the paper on the sublimation paper, of course you need it mirrored so that you can press it. I'm saving it as a SVG. There are also other formats that you can save it for if you're creating other artwork. And now we're going to move right along. Don't forget to mirror your image when you're printing out for sublimation purposes. This is extremely important. Sublimation paper is also expensive and we don't want to waste it. Even though I am wasting it to just print one name, I usually fill this entire page up with whatever it is that I'm printing. This is the paper that I'm using, Koala. I got it on Prime Day. It was about $15. Typically use A-sub paper, but that one was on sale. Sometimes you're going to have to lighten up your photo because once you sublimate, it becomes a lot more vivid. This is the acrylic I'm using. It is cast acrylic, and make sure that it's opaque. For some reason, comes out way more vivid than using regular white acrylic. I threw it in my Glowforge. If you need a tutorial on using it on a Glowforge, let me know. This is how it came out. So the masking off. I already preheated the name out on a sublimation paper just to make it a little easier for me to work with. And now, usually I use some type of light source to make sure that the name is completely centered inside the acrylic. Once I have that down to my liking, I'm just going to use some heat resistant tape and make sure I secure it. Already preheated. Heat press anywhere from 380 to 400 for 60 seconds is perfect. When you move your acrylic from your heat press down until it cools because it bends. Once it cools, you can remove the paper and set it under some water because it does stick. Grab the adhesive to your liking. This is the one I'm using. Usually put it on the back of the name because then you don't see it through the hair clip. Press it hard for a few seconds and voila, there you have it. Isn't it pretty?